Hey FitFam, Coach Russo here. Today, only stretching. This is a 20-minute stretch routine designed to decompress the hips and the back. If you have sciatica, lower back pain, some sort of hip impingement, or you sit or walk a lot, you're definitely going to want to do this stretch series. Now, you're going to need to set your mat up against a wall because we are going to be using the wall to use and decompress our hips, okay? So go ahead, take a moment, set your mat up against a wall, and we will go ahead and get started. All right, do you have your stuff set up yet? Now, if you don't have a wall, you could use a chair. I'm not going to show the chair. I'm pretty sure most of us can get a wall, but this could be a chair instead. Now, what I want you to do is we're going to actually start here on our side, all right? And I'm going to show you, I'm actually going to show you from the other side. You're going to lay on your side right here, okay? And I want you to grab your ankle and pull this knee gently back. And when I originally wrote this series, I had us in a kneeling lunge on one knee, but I changed my mind because I want this to be accessible for everyone, even if you have egregious lower back pain. Now, breathe, relax. You do not want to pull your ankle so hard that you arch your lower back. You actually want to be tucking your core and abs just a little bit. So if you haven't done your core power work, go back to Monday, red shirt. Okay, so you want to be tucking your abs. And today in the series, we're going to be drawing the stretches out. Long stretches, nice, deep breathing the entire time. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and switch sides. So most people just roll over. Let me show you from the back so you guys can see. Don't mind the microphone. Okay, so I'm going to grab here, my ankle, right? Now look, I don't want to arch my back to get my ankle. I just right here, and I want to tuck my abs. And I'm pulling out. So our goal today is to take these joints in our pelvis. The main one is called your sacroiliac joint. You may have heard of it. And we want to create traction or distraction, which is the joint is just getting a little bit of space. I don't say separate the joint because you're not separating. You're just getting a little bit of space. And that stretch is going to have a big effect down the chain. Now, it's actually more challenging to put traction on the SI joint for a lot of reasons, but I got some stuff to you guys today that I've been working on for a long time. Okay, and relax. All right, so let's go ahead and lay flat on our backs. We're not going to use the wall yet, folks. We want to prep. We're going to prep for the wall. Okay, so what I want to do is let's go feet together, knees apart, open to the groin stretch. Okay, our arms are going to be at our sides today. Palms are facing up. Inhale and exhale. And just allow the knees to drop further and further. All right, so a little bit different today is you're going to take your left leg and you're going to put it flat. I'm going to take my right leg out straight and I'm going to lay it on the ground like this. And you'll notice my right leg is out straight. My left hip may have rolled off the ground. So I want to roll that left hip back onto the ground and let this right hip stretch out in this sort of 45-degree angle. When I watch people do this a lot is their left hip rolls over and they end up on their right butt cheek. Do not end up on your right butt cheek. Right here, holding. Now, this right toe, it may be up, down. Don't really worry so much about that. Worry about keeping your left hip down and letting this right hip open up. Okay, I'm going to rotate so you guys can see at a different angle when I switch legs. So I'm here, right? And see my right hip is going to stay down and my left leg is going to go out, 45-degree angle, coming down. Now you can see this right hip, if it's elevated, I want to keep driving that right hip down, driving right hip down. Good. So historically, when therapists and trainers and corrective exercise specialists, when we look at lumbar compression, we talk a lot about the core and the core's ability to make space between the vertebrae. Amazing point. However, now my studies have brought me to start analyzing the pelvis more and how compression of the pelvis actually goes up the chain and starts to compress the lumbar. And looking at the back and the hips as one complex actually makes a lot more sense than looking at the hips and the lower back as two separate entities. Okay, all right. So what we're gonna do here, let's go both feet flat. We're gonna do a little bit of spinal motility. So you're gonna arch your lower back, make a space gently here, and you're just gonna hold it. And I want you to arch your mid back, come into cactus like we did on Monday. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Good, just let everything relax. Okay, now we're gonna reverse that. I want you to tuck your tailbone, squeeze your glutes gently, rib cage down. Okay, feel the difference? And let's come into a slight bridge here, holding. Now in my bridge, I'm kind of rocking side to side, kind of exploring the hips, and I can feel, hello. And relax. All right, so up first, honestly, it's my personal favorite stretch, so let me show you this. You're gonna sit up, okay? Now, you wanna put your butt right against the wall. So I'm right here against the wall, and I'm going to lay flat and bring my feet up on the wall, okay? Now, you know, when I teach this to people, they're like, okay, how close can my butt be to the wall? And it's like, well, that depends on your flexibility. So for someone who's just starting, your butt's gonna be further away from the wall, as opposed to someone who has more flexibility, their butt will be close to the wall. Right now I'm demonstrating what I would call intermediate level flexibility. The trick is, folks, you wanna have your hips down, okay? A lot of people think they can get in this position and they're like, I have a lot of, sorry, and they're thinking they're stretching their hamstrings. Now we're doing here, boom, okay? Now this is, I'm going on the record, this is my favorite stretch. And look, we're getting the calves, the hamstrings, everything in the back of the legs. Also, gravity is going straight down. We call it obliquely, right? Straight down. I'm not really drawing a straight line, but straight down. And that's decompressing that SI joint, allowing the spine to relax. Welcome to the Egoscue method. We'll be learning more about that in a few months. Now what I like to do is after a short period of time, like I'm a little more stretched out, is I'll shimmy, so I'll kind of like walk on my shoulders, or you can sit up all the way and get my butt a little closer to the wall and kind of lay in. But you'll see, I don't want to have my hips up, folks. I want to be driving those hips down somewhat actively. Okay? Breathe. If you learn nothing else for the next 2 months and you just do this stretch every day, I swear your life will be different. It's that powerful. I feel entitled to tell you that they used to do this in the Tibetan Lamastery. Ancient Tibet. Monks rumored to live for long periods of time, hundreds and hundreds of years. Okay, breathe in and exhale. So if you practice on your own, feel free to hold this stretch as long as you want. Be careful, your feet will fall asleep. One time I fell asleep in this position, true story, for about 40 minutes. I could not walk. For like, I couldn't even get my feet down. Yeah, it was pretty, that is a true story, folks, that's not a lie. All right, but what we want to do here, and the majority and essentially the rest of the stretch routine, is we're going to push ourselves away from the wall. So when we're here, I'm going to kind of like shimmy. I can just roll too and just like army crawl over. But what I'm looking for is I want 2 90-degree angles with my knees, okay? Now, like I said, this could be on a chair, but the advantage of the wall is I can push into the wall, okay? So we're going to work a modified stretch series on the wall, okay? So we're gonna start with our right leg, and you're gonna take your right ankle and you're gonna cross it to your left knee. See how my hips came up? Bring the hips down, okay? So pretty much the apex or the climax of the stretch series is this position, a little external rotation, is I'm gonna take my hands, can you guys see that, like this? You see that wedge between my thumbs? And I'm going to take my hip, right here, this right hip, and I'm gonna push it down towards the wall. And I'm gonna feel my pelvis quite literally move down. And if the wall wasn't here to support my leg, this might just rotate me. But you guys can feel right here, I'm gonna dig my thumbs in there too, why not? And then pushing away. Okay, and hold. Now what I want to do, this is good. I'm going to hold this for an extended period of time. Your arm should be getting tired. I'm driving the hip away. Now essentially, what I'm doing is the bones of my pelvis, I'm setting them down away from the spine, and I'm allowing that joint in my back, the back and the pelvis, to get a little bit of space. A little bit of space in that joint also creates a little bit of space in my lower back. This one feels amazing. Now I do this as a massage therapist, is I'll reach my arms through and I'll actually pull the client's leg. It's a little bit more effective, but this is good for now for doing self-care. Now what you do, now we're going to change. I'm going to take your right palm. You guys know this one. This is figure 4, right? And I'm going to push on my thigh. But now I'm going to take this left hand, and I like to use a fist. You could also use a flat palm. And I'm going to push right in that groin area, and I'm going to push the hip further down and away. Okay, now I'm starting to feel that traction force in my hip. Ideally, honestly, we're looking at 3 to 5 minutes in this position. Yeah. Early in my career, I used to think the more variability in stretching, the better. You know, like you come to us, we do 20 minutes of, we'll do like 20, 25 stretches, different angles, different forces, different pulls. I realized later now that you get the fundamental ones and you hold them a little bit longer. And some of these ones, the big ones, you hold them for a lot longer. And you'll get in a better reaction to your stretching. For pain management, that is. It's all under the umbrella of pain management. Okay, driving. All right, we're gonna release. Now take that same leg and you're gonna bring it straight on the wall like this. Okay, so my left leg's bent, my left leg is bent, my right leg is straight, okay? So from here, now what I wanna do is I wanna squeeze this glute, my right glute, I'm gonna squeeze the right glute, and we're essentially setting the pelvis. You don't just want to put a lot of traction force on the pelvis. You want to put traction force, and then you want to set it almost like a cast. Okay, so from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to push my right heel into the ground, or into the wall, pushing my right hip into the ground, squeezing my right glute. I'm going to flex all the muscles in my right leg and kind of set this and hold it. And release. Shake it out. Let's do it one more time, okay? So push your right heel into the wall. Squeeze your right glute, drive your right hip bone into the wall, squeeze all the muscles in your leg, holding, and relax. All right, so bend this knee. Now we're gonna do the other leg, okay? So I'm gonna cross my left leg, left ankle, right knee here, okay? We're gonna make let's call it, I don't know, what's this? Moose antlers. All right, so I'm gonna grab my moose antlers and I'm gonna put them right in that groin area, okay? And I'm gonna push the leg down and away from my lower back, okay? So these hip distractions I actually learned from physical therapist Serena, shout out. I had been having some sciatic issues, and they actually helped a lot. And I've been on a tear for the last 3 months trying to figure out ways to decompress the hip. Where do you guys think I learned all this stuff? Driving the hip away, keep pushing. I'm getting a lot of stretch force, this is good. Breathe. Now push hard, you gotta use your arms, folks. You gotta use your arms, you gotta recruit the arm muscles. Okay, good. All right, breathe in. Exhale. All right, so now take your left arm, you're gonna push that knee open. There you go, good. Driving that hip. Yo, this is going down in the archives as one of the most historic. This is a good stretch program. I'm gonna run this. This is really helpful. Push. Now take that right arm, right? I'm gonna use the knuckle, I'm gonna use the fist. You guys can use your palm and I'm gonna push that hip down and away. Get that big distraction. Breathing. Exhale. I'm not quite satisfied with my right hip yet. Sorry, different. Okay, pushing, pushing, and release. All right, let's take this left leg here. You're gonna straighten it out. Okay, we're gonna set that hip. Okay, you're gonna push the left heel into the wall, squeeze the left glute, flex the left quad muscle by locking the knee out, kind of drive that left hip into the ground, and release. Okay, one more driving heel. Here, squeeze. And release. Very nice. Let's go both legs out straight for a little modified. All right, folks, thanks so much. We're not done yet. I want to explore this. I will not lie. Everything I wrote we're done with, but today I want to explore a little bit more with this right hip because I'm not satisfied. So if you want to stay with me, go ahead. If not, amazing job. Do this as much as possible for your lower back until you have relief. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to kind of explore how I can get more opening on my right hip. So I'm going to take this right hip. I'm essentially going to stretch the groin. So I'm going to open it, adduct it. I'm going to bend my knee here. And you guys can see my right toe is facing away from me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend my left knee here and try to keep that left hip flat. All right, that's kind of getting that groin area that I'm looking for. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hands and I'm going to drive this right hip down and away into the wall. And as I'm pushing now I'm not pushing with my right foot, but I realize when I push down with my right arm here that it puts pressure on my foot. Okay. Now what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to tuck my hips. Yeah, there it is. Got it. Got it. Breaking down doors right here. Okay, squeezing glute. Ooh, as I squeeze the glute, I get more. We're just going to breathe. So turning my right toe out, I'm pushing my right hip down, and I'm kind of squeezing. I'm tucking my core, and I'm keeping my left hip flat, and I'm squeezing the glute. Now I'm doing something else. PNF, it's called. And relax. Huh. I might have done it, folks. Nice job. All right. So I'm going to sit up. Go help give yourself a round of applause. Nice job, nice job, nice job. How are we doing on the time? Oh, perfect. I actually ended a little early. All right, so that's something quick and easy, folks. That has a lot of power. What I would do is I would experiment with that, and then I would learn those kind of sort of fundamental stretches, and I would try them a little bit longer. I think in the video I only held them about a minute or two. You can go up to 5 minutes safely getting that hip, and what I'll do is I test. Is like right now I'm going to get up, I'm going to walk around, see if my hip feels better. If it feels better, I'm going to do it again, maybe in a little longer. All right, so something quick and easy for all my folks out there with the back compression. We're growing, folks, slowly and steadily. I'm learning. Everything is getting better. As you can see, I tried a little setup, like a little gray mat and a black mat. So I'm going to see how it looks. I appreciate all you guys. If you can, go ahead and share this stretch video with someone who you know has lower back pain or hip compression. It does help them a lot, okay? So with that, I'm Coach Russo, and this is You'll Be Fit Forever. Peace.